Hello guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Elisha, I'm a Brazilian man, and today I'm going to read to you a little message from the Bible. Okay, Elisha the Prophet by Dennis Bratcher. Elisha, whose name means God is salvation, was prophet of the northern kingdom of Israel. He who was active for a period of some 50 years during the reigns of Joram, Jehu, Jehoahaz, and Jehoash. Elisha was the successor and disciple of Elijah. He is remembered in the biblical stories as a man of wisdom and a worker of miracles, both on behalf of his nation in times of crisis and in the lives of individuals in time of need. Elisha was a farmer who lived with his parents at Abel Meholah. Since he was plowing with 12 pairs of oxen when Elijah met him, scholars have suggested that his father was a wealthy landowner. Elisha was bald and carried a staff which was common to rural residents and aided travel and the rugged hills of Palestine. However, unlike Elijah, who lived in caves in the desert, Elisha stayed in the cities. A wealthy woman of Shannon provided him with comfortable guest quarters. He also apparently maintained his own house in Samaria. He often appeared in the company of a group of prophets, the sons of prophets. Okay, he often appears in the company of groups of prophets called the sons of the prophet. And he frequented religious centers such as Bethel, Gilgal, and Mount Carmel. His actions notably used his staff as an instrument of activity and used music to induce a prophetic trance or state. He called another heir of prophets represented by Moses and Samuel. Since Elisha left no written work of his own, the Elisha narrative in 2 King reflect oral traditions about the prophet that first circulated independently among the people. They were later reduced to written record. They were incorporated into the large work known as the Deuteronomic history. Because of their roots in oral tradition, these narratives and those of Elijah are not so much concerned with aesthetic presentation or historical facts as with a retelling of the significance of events that swirl around this prophetic figure in relation to the faith of Israel. In their present form, the narrative consists of loosely connected anecdotes about the prophet interwoven with historical sketches of the period. These, in turn, are placed within a larger theological framework that used the narrative to present the faith profession of Israel. Taken together, these anecdotes and historical sketches on one level portray a figure who, through the telling and retelling of his story among people, uh, has been cast in near legendary terms. On another level, they demonstrate the sovereignty and power of God at work and inspire the political scam and the personal crisis of a nation, and inspire the adulteration of commitment to God by the influence of Canaanite Baal worship. Elisha's work within Israel involved two areas, personal and political. As a man easily accessible to the people, he frequently interceded in the ordinary event of life that bring anguish and crisis. The purification of a vital spring, the raising of a Shanamites on a son, the provision of an antidote for the poisonous stew, the healing of Naaman's leprosy, and the recovery of borrowed axe head demonstrate Elisha's ministry on a personal level, but these stories within the larger context also show the power of God over all aspects of nature and undirected challenge to the worship of Baal. Similarly, the increase of the widow's oil, the multiplication of grain, and the restoration of the Shanamites' land demonstrates God's power in the economic and social sphere. But Elisha's greatest work was on that was on what we would call a political level. Although from a biblical perspective, political and religious were not different categories. And accept the hermano of Elijah, and accept the hermano of Elisha also accepted the commission of Elijah. As his master had been deeply involved in politics of his day, so Elisha went on to complete the task assigned to Elijah. He became constantly involved in the affairs of the nation. He provided water to a thirsty army, was instrumental in routing the Moabites, warned the kings of enemy plans more than once, helped over disaster at the hands of the Syrians, was involved in the overthrow of Ben Hadad of Damascus and Hugh of Israel, and from his deathbed prophesies Jehoash's defeat of Syrians. And from his deathbed prophesied Joash defeat of the Syrians. While Elisha was often termed patriotic, like Elijah, much of his political involvement was directed at bringing the apostate monarchy and the nation back to recognition of God's sovereignty in the world. Some of the Elisha narratives are often challenged from a modern ethical and theological perspective as not in harmony with true Israelite belief. For example, 2 Kings 2:23 to 35, see also Naaman, their territorial gods. Yet together they fill an important theological role with the framework of the Book of Kings and demonstrate that every facet of his life is subject to God's control. Okay. Again, every facet of life is subject to God's control. End of this text. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you. Bye bye.